What's up, everybody? It is me, your boy Rico No Suave. You already know I am ready to go. Man, I tell you, man, I'm super happy to be back with each and every one of you guys. I hope you missed me as much as I have missed you. You know what, everybody? It's another great day here because the sun is shining, people are out. You know, everybody's just loving each other, and we're being kind to each other, everyone. And this is such a great time for you to sit back, relax. You can comment. If you're talking to the TV, thank you. I might not be able to hear you, but thank you for talking to me in spirit, right? If you're online as well, too, también, mi gente, thank you so much. Don't forget to comment, like, and do everything just so we can just keep it going. You already know the energy is here, everybody, and welcome back. You know, we got to talk about something that I just stumbled upon, and you know what that is? Boredom. July. July is anti-boredom month, thanks to LaPorte County.life. You know, one of the things about how we can talk about July of being anti-boredom, there's a few things you can actually do without being bored. You know, some people are like, get a life, Rico. I mean, you know, I try to get a life, you know, but one thing I love playing is games. You know, hey, Call of Duty is my friend, right? Call of Duty is my friend. Just getting active, staying active, exercising, doing something to actually just get you going, get that blood flowing as well, too. Learning something new. One thing that you can always do is learn different cultures. Learning different cultures and learning about, how they actually, got that country there and how the people live. That's a really great thing to actually learn something new, or just another hobby that you're not used to. Of course, cleaning. You always got to clean your house, right? If you clean your house or clean your car, always got to keep it fresh, Cooking. Yeah, I like that. Cocinando. You already know. I love to cook, everybody, so you should definitely do that too. I tell my man, get in the kitchen. Being creative. Well, you take some time. If you're not a creative person, bounce ideas off of people and start a conversation. You already know. Last but not least, volunteering. We're always here to help the community grow. So one of the things about volunteering is making sure that you're ready to help people that needs that help. And also, if you just volunteer just in general, I mean, you can do marathons, you can do so many other things as well, too. So make sure you go out there and try to be active. That's just some of the things as well, too. So this month is anti-boredom month, right? So make sure you celebrate that and be aware. Boredom can put you in a little bit of depression. So don't get bored, everybody. Be creative. Let's go. All right. Okay. I got to get my man 100 and let's say 100 grand, 500 grand, $1 million grand. This gentleman, I ain't going to say he flew in from Cali just to see me, but I feel like he did. This is my guy right here. He's an author. He's a motivational speaker. He's a philanthropist. I had a very, very, very good conversation with him. Big shout out to Jacqueline Murthy from Entertainment when she did Entertainment Today. I love it. I was able to meet this gentleman. And ever since then, we've been clicking. And I have to say the energy that this gentleman have to be able to talk about his journey, talk about his mission is what we're going to do today. I want you guys to put your hands together for none other than my man, J.D. Slajchert. Yeah!
Hey, Rico, it's such a pleasure to be here on the show with you, brother.
Yes, sir.
It's something we've been working towards for quite a long time, man, and to finally be in Chicago, your city.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're the reason I flew out here.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. That makes me feel really great, man.
Yeah.
That makes me feel real great that you are here, man. And I have to say, by you shining and watching what you're doing in Cali and around the world, man, well, I should say domestic. I know you're going to be doing international stuff as well, too. But what you're doing and the cause of what you're doing, man, I love it. You're bringing awareness to what you love to do, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's basketball. That's number one, right?
Yeah,
B-ball.
for sure. Well, I mean, look, I think, like you said, there's so much going on. There's so many different things to jump into and talk about. But
Yes, sir.
I'm the product of a really incredible support system.
Yes,
people
sir.
like you, people like my family, my friends, man, that are always boosting me up, giving me plenty of energy to go out and just attack these lofty goals is huge, man, and it's everything. And I'm no different. I have quite the unique, eclectic group of individuals that come around and support me. So it's cool, man.
Welcome to Chicago, baby. Welcome to Chicago. Let's go. Hey, you know what? Let's get it in, man, because we only got an hour, and you know how
Let's
it
do
is.
it. Let's get right to it, baby.
Flying by fast, baby. When we talk about being an athlete, right?
Yep.
And, it comes early in your college year. I definitely one of your years itself. Let's talk about you being at college, that athlete. Why basketball?
Yeah, well, the height was that's probably an easy answer right there.
Okay.
But basketball was, a sport that always spoke to me in a lot of different ways, and I kind of loved the game before it loved me back.
Okay.
I was actually not very good. I was like the allergy kid in the back of the bench, just sitting there trying to find a way to get in the games when I was growing up. But then I hit this like crazy growth spurt.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I went from being the kid that no one wanted on their team to the kid everybody wanted on their team.
Yeah.
I just loved the game and loved the competitive drive of it.
Yeah.
And my dad was a really good player as well.
Okay.
And he, ended up kind of pushing me in the direction of wanting to go and play sports. He played at Yale.
Okay.
And basketball ended up taking me to UC Santa Barbara, which was my dream school out in Cali.
Yes.
And I played there for 4 years and had the chance to connect with some really amazing folks through that journey. So basketball really is a huge part of who I am and always will be. So
keeping you athletic, of course, keeping the health going, and it makes it, it makes you want to continue to strive, because you right now, you're keeping your health up, right? And you're keeping, as far as, basketball always going to be in your life, of course, too, because you have friends, you have
totally.
friends that
I got friends that are playing in the NBA.
Yes,
I got my little brother that's playing in college right now. I mean, I got hoopers all around me. So it's kind of unavoidable at this point. But basketball is very much a part of my life.
Through your career in basketball, there was a kid. And
sure.
Because of one of the reasons why we're here, you're on a mission to be that great athlete in college, right? But there's always fans that touch you, right? There's fans that look up to you during that time. Let's talk about who was that fan that followed you and the connection that you made with that fan.
Yeah, Rico, I mean, it's an incredible story. It's one I've been talking about for years now. And it's, for those out there listening and watching that maybe don't know a lot of the details, I had this incredible fan when I was playing in high school, and his name was Luke Bodden. And Luke was someone that used to go to all my high school games growing up, and he had something called sickle cell disease, which is a genetic disorder that he was born with. And as a result of that, kind of what happened was he couldn't go into like LA to go watch the Lakers play or the Clippers or other sports. So our community in Oak Park, where I grew up, was like, that was his big outing, right? So Luke used to go to all my high school games, and he was only 6 years old.
Wow.
And I was 17 when we met. And the reason we met was because after one of my high school games, his sister came up to me and said, hey, my little brother's your biggest fan. He wants to meet you and play basketball with you. And I sort of looked at her and said, sure, I'll get around to it when I can. Like, I'm a pretty big deal. I don't know if you knew that. And she said, no, it has to happen next week. And I said, why is that? And that was when she said, because my little brother is 6 years old, and he has something called sickle cell disease. And the last thing that he wants to do before he has to go into the hospital for a full year of isolation for a bone marrow transplant is meet you and play basketball with you.
Wow.
And and that was how I met this kid, Luke. And to be honest, too, like what started off as sort of just like a good deed and something I felt like, would be a nice thing to do for somebody that was sick.
Sure.
Snowballed into something even greater and greater. And Luke and I pretty much became inseparable after that first meet. And he had this like witty personality, and he loved food, and like he used to talk trash to me about my games. And he was an amazing kid, man, and someone that really changed my life. And I give all of the credit in the world to everything I'm doing today to him, in his legacy and his honor. And there's a lot more to talk about it, but that's kind of the genesis of our collaboration.
Well, I do want people, because here, I do want to get a little bit deep in regards to your connection that you have with him, because being able to talk trash and talk ball talk and stuff like that.
He could do that. He could do that for sure.
Well, what are some of the influences that that help him? Because when you have a connection like yourself with someone that has kind of that disability or sickle cell disease, with Luke, was there ever a time where he was depressed and he asked you to come by and just sit down and just talk to him?
Oh, all the time, man.
Okay.
And what was interesting about our relationship was even though he was much younger, right, than I was, it was like he was big bro at times too.
Okay.
Like he used to kind of be the one inspiring me, pushing me, and I'd learned so much from him. And watching him go through his battle with sickle cell and never give up, never complain about his circumstances. And there was a lot of tough days, obviously, of course. And it was, something that was really difficult for me to watch someone I cared so much about go through such a tough time. But man, he was so strong and so resilient in everything that he went through.
Yeah.
And it's something that, I've been speaking about and talking about ever since. So.
Oh, man. I really like that, man. I got to congratulate you on that, because the times that are hard with someone that goes through that, being you the big bro,
right,
during that time, and also flipping that.
Right.
He's being a big bro to you as well. He kept you at a level of, you might be up here as far as college star, but from humanity's standpoint, you're right here with me for me and you to go through this together, right? And I think that's the cool thing about you as a person, to be able to know that, hey, I got this connection with this young kid, and he's a really important piece of my life, right? And always will be.
Massive. And I think, too, so much in life, it's easier to look back and connect the dots. But when it was happening, you didn't know, right? Like, I just felt this draw to go and visit him as much as I could after I started to go and visit him in the hospital.
Yeah.
And the main reason, too, was when I committed to play at UC Santa Barbara, he was like the first person I wanted to tell.
Okay.
Because I had this kid who believed in me and was like pushing me to say, hey, you're going to go and do great things.
Yes, sir.
So when I did commit to Santa Barbara and achieve my dream of being a D1 athlete,
yes, sir,
he was the first person I wanted to tell, because it was like, hey, man, you need to get healthy because you got more basketball to watch me play. So we need to get you back on your feet.
I like that.
And then he started going to all my games in college, too.
Okay.
And that was how he ended up meeting Gabe Vincent, who's my best friend, brother, and partner, and just pretty much everything I'm doing. Him and Luke started to build a connection and a bond, and that was a huge part of our connection as well. And Gabe is obviously someone who plays for the Lakers and is now doing a lot of great things in his own right. Someone I'm actually here in town in Chicago with.
Yeah.
And he was an incredible gift as a friend to me during that time, because it was difficult, right?
Yeah.
Like watching Luke go through all that. So Gabe was another kind of supporter of all that. So
people say that things can go viral. And when things go viral, people go viral. And Luke is that viral moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's that viral connection, because he also, with Gabe, with you, and other people that's connected with you, you were the one that was probably talking more about Luke, of course, to other people, so they can understand, who is this guy?
Well,
right?
someone we talked about like a ton, even when you and I first met.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, the story of Luke and I is one that I share so openly because it is so inspirational and powerful and needs to be heard by as many people as possible.
Yes, sir.
And even though Luke has passed, and that tragedy is something that, gets hard, and there are certainly moments that still hit me to this day, there's so much good that we're doing as a result of his loss. And I see so much of the benefit in the money we're raising for the nonprofit that we're a part of,
yes,
and
sir.
all of the good things we're doing with sharing his story and our friendship. And it inspires me to this day, for sure.
Well, big shout out. Was it the sister that made the connection?
Yes.
The sister. Big shout out to the sister.
Taryn is her name, yeah.
Big shout out to Taryn.
Yeah,
you already know.
seriously,
Thank you so much for that connection. And,
Yeah.
Without having the spirit of Luke, and also for that connection with Luke, of course, there's always a mission, right? There's a mission behind things as far as what we go through. And, of course, with Luke, having that viral moment, man, as far as with you and a connection with yourself, man, that's awesome, man. Every time I hear the story, when I first heard it, it gave me chills, right? And when it gave me chills, man, I just had to continue to look at you, because every time you tell that story, just like I'm talking to you now, it's a deep feeling, right? It's a deep feeling of people being able to know, man, you know what? This guy is always going to be here. Now, you have a hat on. I've been wanting to ask you about that hat, right?
Please.
Because I feel that hat is you on one side, Luke on the other.
I thought I was actually given to me today, the hat. It's by a group called the Happiness Project.
Okay.
And they're a huge nonprofit and organization that gives back in mental health awareness space. And I got to actually meet some of the folks who run that foundation today. And I thought the same thing when I saw that. I was like, dang, this reminds me of me and Luke a lot. I'm going to wear this on my interview tonight.
I like that,
yeah, I'm glad
man.
you pointed that out. But yeah, another cool foundation too.
Okay.
If people are interested, the Happiness Project is a really amazing foundation. And
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's cool, man. I had to ask you the question. I was
Yeah.
I'm like, when I first saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's you on one side, that's Luke
Yeah.
on the other.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's awesome, man. Well, we got to get into the foundation,
Yeah,
right?
please.
We have to talk about the foundation that you're working with, the movement. Let's talk about the movement, right?
Sure.
Because this is a movement. Talk to us about the foundation, and let's go from there.
Yeah, so as my story kind of continues to unfold, I was a college basketball player, as you mentioned,
Yep.
and then when Luke tragically passed on September 14th, 2016, he was only 10, and it was obviously just a terrible moment in all of our lives, but it really caused me to reevaluate who I am and what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And that was when I started writing.
Okay.
And that was when I started writing my first book, Moonflower. And I actually wrote that during the rest of my time as a college basketball player. So I was 21 when Luke passed away. I was like a sophomore or junior in college. So I had 2 more years left. And then the year following Luke's passing, Luke's parents founded the Luke Strong Foundation, which is a nonprofit that supports children that are diagnosed with sickle cell disease.
Okay.
And I'm the director of relationship development for the Luke Strong Foundation. And so a big part of what I do is what I'm doing with you right now.
Yes, sir.
Talking about this story, talking about the things that I've done in the hopes of spreading awareness and raising money for the Luke Strong Foundation so we can help other kids with this illness. And as you said, movement is probably the right word for it because it has been a crazy, wild ride of just continued, momentum and opportunities to tell this story. And I just recently concluded a fundraiser called 24K for Luke's 24, where my goal was to raise $24,000 for what would have been Luke's high school graduating class this past May.
Oh, wow.
And instead of raising $24,000, we raised over $35,000.
Congratulations. Let's go, man. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Come
man,
on,
it's
let's go.
pretty amazing benchmark we hit. Just an unbelievable amount of love and support to see something like that. So and still growing. So
yeah. We talk about the movements and we talk about how strong that, no pun intended, but, we talk about fundraising. We talk about how strong that the virus can actually be. I'm talking about viral, right? Virus in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Being able to get those people to at least donate and raise that amount of money within 24 hours.
Right.
I don't know if you ever seen those one when they had it on TV where everybody's on the phone and he said, call in now to give your donation to Jerry Lewis. That's what I think. I think Lewis, right? So I think about things like that, but it's always days till they hit their reach, right? Their goal, right? 24K within 24 hours is massive.
No,
35K.
Yeah, we ended up hitting 35, but it was over the span of over a couple months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the reason it was called 24K for Luke's 24 is because Luke would have been graduating from college or from high school.
I got you.
So the class of 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't pump it up too hard.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. To do it in 24 hours would have been unbelievable.
My bad. I really wanted to be 24 hours. Okay, so it was okay. I got you.
Yeah, so it was over the span of a couple months, but still, even then, to overachieve that was insane.
Yes, sir.
And that ended up kind of creating us and giving us the opportunity to drag out the fundraiser because we were seeing so many new opportunities to do more talks like this. And it was pretty unbelievable.
Yeah. With some of of course, what were some of the hobbies that Luke used to? Now, did you talk about also some of the fun things that you guys did together as far as part of your movement as well, too?
With the foundation or with Luke in general?
Well, let's say both.
Yeah.
Right, with the foundation as well, because I'm sure they want to know a little bit more your connection as well too.
Yeah, well, so I talk about Luke to a variety of age groups. So I'll talk
Okay.
to kids that are in like elementary school, middle school, and even high school.
Okay.
And with the little ones, they're always so curious about like how I used to go and play Madden with Luke all the time in the hospital, and like
Nice.
2K and all types of stuff like that. And that was like a pretty standard, activity we would do together.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Luke also had the palate of like a full-blown adult. Like we would be bringing him steaks and seafood and
Let's go.
sneaking it into the hospital because they weren't letting him eat this and that. And I remember that like very vividly about our connection. He loved food, man. You'd have loved him for that reason
Yeah,
too.
for sure,
Right.
man. I would have cooked something on the spot for him on that. I love that. I love that piece because now that when you're talking about kids and focusing on your movement and going to different places, what were some of the biggest, because as a public speaker, of course, that's where it comes from with this movement, what was your biggest audience that you spoke with in regards to the movement?
Man, well, so a big part of the fundraiser that we've been talking about that I just concluded was I was selected to be the keynote speaker at what would have been Luke's high school graduation.
Okay.
So I gave the commencement address to Luke's graduating class of 2024.
Okay.
And that was about 3,000 or 4,000 people.
Let's go.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy opportunity.
Yeah.
And it was a crazy weeks and days surrounding that, Rico.
Yeah.
Man, I was on NBC LA the week prior to that.
Let's go.
Flew out to Philadelphia for my little brother's college graduation. Shout out to you, Slajchert, on graduating from Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania.
Let's go.
So I was out in Philly, and while
Okay.
I was in Philly, got a call from CBS LA that they wanted to have me come in and do an interview like 2 days before the graduation.
Wow.
Booked an earlier flight, flew back, did that, and then the story with the Lakers came out the following day, and then boom, did the graduation speech. So
Let's go.
in a span of like 72 hours, I was in like 2 or 3 shows, 3 cities, and
A lot of coffee.
Yeah, 25 cups of coffee. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you're doing a lot, man. You're doing a lot for this movement, and Luke sees it. Luke sees it. The angels see it.
Yeah.
Everyone sees what you're doing. We see it. My audience sees it, right? And the one thing that always makes me feel good about what you're doing, it's you're volunteering to help people with sickle cell to be able to let them know that they're not alone on this mission.
Yeah, Rico, I think, as much as it's chaotic and there's so much going on, man, it's amazing. And Luke's mom always tells me this. She says, JD, it's so amazing to see you walk in your purpose. And I think when you have a vision, an aspiration, inspiration to go and do something that's bigger than yourself,
Yes, sir.
it's amazing how you get this wave of energy. Yeah. I'm sure much like you with your show
Yes,
and everything that you've done, it's like, yeah, maybe on the outside it looks like, man, how could you possibly get to all these places and do these things? But having the time of my life, man. I never felt more energized, ready for the next thing. And, my friends or people that I work with will ask me, like, are you feeling overwhelmed? And I'm like, honestly, no, I don't.
Okay.
I wish I could go on another show and do another appearance to raise even more money tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And it's so inspiring to see really good folks like yourself,
Yes,
like
sir. Thank
everybody helping us put together this show today.
Yes, sir.
Like my friend Andrew Pickles back there.
The Pickles.
With the
Yes,
camera.
sir.
You know,
Yes,
it's
sir.
like,
Yes, sir.
this is, that warms your heart and it helps you fuel everything it is that you're doing to keep going no matter what.
I like that because what happens is that we're on a mission. I love this saying from the Blues Brothers. We're on a mission from God, right? And you are, right? God sent blessings. You're giving out blessings upon blessings to kids that has that hope, and say, I can beat sickle cell. But if I don't beat sickle cell, I'm having a great time being able to listen to you, but also you inspiring others and say, hey, use this program to help what I did for Luke. Right? And just keeping them going, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing you want to do is to see someone that has sickle cell and feel alone.
And also not feel hurt.
Exactly.
And I talk about that with Luke's mom a lot. Is like, I want the opportunity to have kids see all of the opportunities and things that we're doing to talk about this illness and feel like, hey, someone is, out there fighting for me, and I hope we can be advocates for that in that way.
Yeah. Man, bro, I'm so glad you're here, man. Dang, I'm glad you're here, man.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Listen,
cool.
bro.
Love Chicago.
Man.
Amazing place.
Chicago loves you. Chicago loves you, bro. And I have to say that, by you being here in your presence today, you're definitely on that mission, man. And I love it because you want more of it, right? You want more of to be able to help people, right? Not only are you helping the connection of the kid or the young lady that may have sickle cell or whoever has sickle cell, you're also helping the parents. You're helping the family.
Right.
As soon as you talk to them, they're automatically telling you, JD came by and I had such a great time as far as with him. And then you could probably feel the parents cry knowing that you took the pain away from what they're going through.
Even
then
if
the whole
it's
family.
just for an hour or a day or whatever it is, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that means a lot. And
Exactly.
I think that's a very good point, man. And
Yeah.
no, it's amazing, man. And I feel very blessed to come on your show, talk about it, spread this word wherever it is that I'm going.
Yes, sir.
And it means quite a bit.
Moonflower, how long did it take for you to write that book?
Man, so Moonflower was my first book,
Yep.
Written in honor of Luke. And I actually wrote it while I was in college, as I mentioned. And
Sure.
It took me about two years, and I actually hand wrote the entire first draft
Let's go.
of that book.
Yeah.
400 pages, Rico,
Woo.
just pencil and paper. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's an old school way.
Yeah.
Right. You forget about the typewriters.
No, yeah. I went all the way back to the beginning. Yeah. But that was really a way that, I was able to creatively express the story that I had in my head that I felt was so important to tell. And I'm not sure I knew even then I was writing a book.
Sure.
I was just sort of getting out all the emotions of what it was to lose Luke and this story I knew I had to tell, and I had no idea what it would become, but it started to flow more naturally than even I could have imagined at the time.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Writing 400, pages.
Oh my God, my right wrist is still recovering from that.
Memories of this. Memories of this, right? Because, being able to know that you can try to cram as much as you can with the points that you want to make within Moonflower, the book itself, makes a big difference, because I'm sure that when you finish writing that book, there was more stuff that you wanted to put in there. And because there's memories and there's other things that you want to actually have for Moonflower. Talk to us about the name, Moonflower. Why did you pick that?
Yeah, there's a few different reasons. It's a question I get asked quite a bit,
Yes,
obviously. One of the more prominent and I think more important reasons was because, my grandmother was someone that I always wanted to go and visit impromptu. Like I always told myself, I need to go and see her and just bring her flowers.
Yes, sir.
And she actually passed before I got the chance to do that. And I took that as a philosophy on after she passed of, I'm not going to wait to give flowers to those that I love.
Sure.
So Moonflower was my way of like doing better on the promise that I wish I'd made to my grandmother. And so I like to feel like I'm giving flowers to those right away.
All right.
Through that version of the book.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different reasons why the book is called Moonflower. It also has like a bit of the opposite of a sunflower type of feel, which is where I got the idea for the title too.
Okay.
But, I think people have to go and read it.
Yeah, you have to read it
to get some more of the definitions for them.
You got to read it to believe it. That's all I got to say. Read it to believe it, because hey, if Moonflower is where they have to read it, then my audience should go and buy that book, and they should definitely read it.
I think they'd like it. I think they would.
I think they love it. I think they love it. So, all right, everybody, it is me, your boy Rico No Suave, here with my man JD Slajchert in Chicago from Cali. Ooh, wait. I'm super happy to have him here. We're going to take a 30-second break, everybody. It's time to get to that commercial. We'll see you in a minute. And we're back, everybody. It's your boy, Rico No Suave. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves as far as here on the Rico No Suave show. Yes, wherever you are, I hope you're smiling because we're smiling over here, too. You know, we're glowing over here, too. JD, you glowing?
Hey, man, I'm in Chicago summer. What a great place to be right now,
It's
man.
the best place to be, of course, when it's hot outside.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. We survived the tornadoes,
Yes.
too. That was unbelievable, by the way.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We'll get to that.
They call it Windy City. You know, they
Yeah.
call it Windy City for a reason, but, you know, Mother Nature really showed how windy it was these
Yeah,
past few days. But I'm super happy that you're here with us once again, man. Let's get it on, man. You know, basketball camp,
Yeah.
you know, and we're going to circle back. You know, we're going to circle back because I know there's, we want to talk about a little bit about why you love writing,
Okay.
right, as an author as well, too. But
Yeah.
you're here.
We could go a million directions, man. Tell me.
I know.
We need a 4-hour show right now.
I know,
I'll come
man.
back. I'll come back.
You come back?
For
Okay,
sure,
cool.
man. For sure.
You know I'm going to have you
Yeah,
back.
no way we'll get it all in.
No, sir. No, sir.
Impossible.
You're in Chicago. What makes Max is it Strauss? Or
Strus.
Strus.
Yep.
Strus basketball camp so important and awesome.
Yeah, big shout out to Max Strus, man. The entire Strus family, Jake Wimmer, everybody in that community, adore them, adore Chicago. They're the reason I'm out here as well, in addition to being on your show.
Yes, sir.
Max is a Chicago native,
Okay.
and he played on the Miami Heat with my brother Gabe Vincent, we talked about.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, so every year we're making out to Chicago to go and support Max and his camp. And I was there running around with the kids all morning. I'm exhausted. But yeah, it's giving back to a worthy cause as well. And yeah, Max has been doing a tremendous job with his camp out here every summer. And I'm looking forward to many more years of returning to Chicago for that. So.
What was the camp like? You know, because how many kids was in camp? Would you
You know, I
say?
think it was like 200 to 250 kids, something like that. Yeah, no, it was a lot. It was a
a lot
lot.
of energy in there.
Yeah, I believe me, it was a busy. It's been a busy last few days, man. But you know, the kids are. I love the energy and inspiration they bring, and it's cool to, you know, see how like much they really know about what's going on. Like
Yeah.
they're really intelligent, excited. They have such an energy about them, and it kind of makes the day go by faster.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's also cool to. You know, I think I was talking to Max Strus's mom about this, how, you know, so much of what I do is talking about me, my story, the foundations I'm involved with. And when I get to go out to their camp, I get to actually just be like another basketball counselor.
I
almost,
like that.
right? And like
Yeah.
I get to be a supporter now.
I like that.
Not asking people, hey, come listen to my story or come do what I'm doing. It's like, no, I'm actually here as just one of the people helping out.
Yeah.
And I think it's a healthy balance of doing both. So I love that. I love you can't ask people to give their time and energy to you if you're not willing to do the same.
Come
for
on.
them.
Give and give back.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Right.
How long is the camp? Oh, how many days? is
Yeah,
the
it's
camp?
about 3-4 days. Yeah, so it
Wow.
ends tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did it start Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Kids. Gotta love them. I have a lot of nieces and nephews.
Oh, yeah?
And I know growing up, because I used to hoop back in the day as well,
Okay.
too. And I loved it. I was a three-point shooter,
Okay.
right? Used to hoop with my nephews and, you know, as well, too. But they were little, right? And they used to, you know, play around. It's like, man, just having all of this ball of energy, I can imagine what 250 kids would be like.
Oh yeah, no.
You know,
It's-
just running around
Yeah.
and what do I do and how do I do things. So what is the program like for the kids for those days for this camp?
Yeah, so they'll break it down like into stations where they'll work on different drills and have different opportunities to get coaching by like some of the other counselors, and then each day will have like a different agenda.
Okay.
So sometimes there's more games, sometimes there's some knockout. Like Gabe and Max were playing knockout today, which was actually
Were they?
pretty hilarious. Yeah, Gabe went up and punched one. It was nuts. I haven't seen him dunk in a minute, so that was
Really?
great. Yeah, but
That's cool.
yeah, it's you know, it's a lot of fun, man. It's lighthearted. The kids are just out there getting some good hoops in, working on their game, and yeah, we've had a lot of good experiences with them. Kind of get to talk to them a little bit too. Have opportunities to like talk to the kids and the parents and do some question answers and stuff. But yeah, it's every summer. So if anybody out there is in Chicago and has some little ones that they want to get into camp, I'll be there. Gabe will be there. And yeah, we'd love to.
Tell
have
Max
you.
we going live then next time. You
Yeah,
just let him know,
yeah.
hey, Max, Rico No Suave
Yeah,
going
you
live.
guys got to pull up. You guys got to pull up. I would love that.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be super cool because I love the kids, right? I love the kids. And I think what you're doing is, once again, through that viral moment,
Yeah.
you're actually giving that energy out to people and the kids and the family. What a lot of their parents there as well too, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
There too,
yeah, and I
right?
think that they are equally as impressed to see some NBA guys spending their summer when they can be off doing this or that,
Yeah.
giving back
Yes.
to their hometown.
Yeah.
And what's cool is as much as we travel for Max,
Sure.
Max will travel for us. So when Gabe does camps in Cali, Max and his whole family will come to that.
That's
so,
love, man.
Yeah, it's been an incredible bond to watch even the two of them and how close they are, support each other. And yeah, just to be a small part in it has been fun for me.
So I gotta ask the question. In the camp,
Yeah,
food,
yeah.
right? Chicken tenders and fries, or what? So, dude. So, what do the kids eat?
What are we
and
getting
you
into?
eat? And what do you guys eat? Are you eating like the kids eat, or is it like they bring y'all something separate? What is
I think
food
we're
like?
doing a separate deal. I'm not really in charge of the food. I dove into some like sandwiches yesterday, which
Okay.
were really great.
Yeah.
And then we had some like pulled pork.
Wow.
That was elite. The food here in Chicago is y'all are doing something.
Yes, sir.
Y'all are onto something here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not bad. Tornadoes though, that's a different conversation.
That's a whirlwind.
Yeah,
Right? That's a
yeah.
different
I don't know about
whirlwind.
all that, but
Hey, so yeah, because I always wonder, because if you got a lot of kids, it's time to eat.
yeah.
Does the adults eat the same thing as the kids, or is it totally separate? So
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was
totally
separate, right?
Yeah. I think there are a lot of packed lunches and things because we'll have different groups come in and out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it'll be like the morning session, kids leave, then the afternoon session.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So it's not a whole session. It's not a whole day for the same kids. It's
Right.
a different groups of kids that. Oh,
different
okay.
age groups. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the same
So-
program? Like the same program for afternoon? I'm sorry, morning.
It kind
and
of changes
afternoon?
because it's different age groups, so there are different levels of like skill level and ability.
That's
so
cool.
they'll edit it kind of based on that.
Yeah, you can tell I ain't played ball in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah. I don't want y'all to know my age, everybody. But I used to ball. I used to do my thing too. I used to love it, shooting hoops. Keep me active.
I didn't know that about you. That's interesting. I
sir.
love that.
Yes, sir.
Another
A little
connection we
behind the
got.
scenes,
Yeah.
but it's on public now.
Yeah, now it's out in the open.
It's in the open now. Hey, so being here, and we're gonna kind of go back as far as with writing, because you're kind of like writing your story right now, because being in front of kids, right, and also knowing that you Luke Strong, right, with the movement, right. When you see kids having such a great time, have you ran into when you're ready to write? Do you ever think about that you ran into other kids that had the similarities as far as the characteristics of Luke, and it reminds you of Luke?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that kids in that age group, I think I'm always drawn to for that reason. Like, I think I see so much of Luke in all the kids that I get to meet.
Yeah.
And, it's funny that you actually bring this up because it reminds me of something that one of my editors, who I've worked with on a few of my novels, has told me is, for me, so I've written 2 or 3 books right now.
Sure.
2 that are out and available now, and the 3rd is being finished and will be out in about a year.
Okay.
But one of the things that I said to my editor was, it's hard for me to see the similarities like in each of my books, like because they're all each standalone novels, right?
Sure.
So none of the stories are connected.
Sure.
And they feel like different people wrote them to me.
Okay.
Even though I'm the author, it's a very
Right.
strange feeling.
Interesting.
And my editor said this to me, and I never forgot it. Was she said, JD, one of the things about all of your books, as different as all of them are, the main theme that's at the core of each of them is this protection of like a childhood innocence. Like you have characters that are rallying around a young kid to protect them from this or that's happening.
Wow.
And that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks the first time I heard her say that.
Sure.
But then I took a deeper look at each of my books, and yeah, it's protecting that innocence that we have when we're young. And even though the stories are different, characters are different, settings different, that's a core theme that exists throughout all of them. And I kind of love that. And I think, as you mentioned, a lot of that is because of Luke.
You brought up a good point, and your editor brought up a good point in regards to protection for the kids, for the future. And this is what we need anyways. That's why I think the parents and kids need to read this book or your books in general to be able to help protect themselves, right? Because what you're doing is you're giving a message out there without you even knowing that you're giving a message of protection until it's brought to your attention. Because what you're doing is you're writing. You're just writing. And you're writing because things are coming to your head. It's almost like you kind of freestyle. It's like, nah, I don't like that. Okay, this is what I want to put in. And it all connects the dots of you protecting the youth. But you're protecting, of course, someone that may be going through the same thing in your book.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's
And
deep.
I think too, Rico, what is another good way to put it is, and it's something I say a lot, good fiction writing, because all my books are fiction, is like taking the vitamin and sneaking it into the piece of cake.
Yes, sir.
So the reader is just reading a good book, and they didn't realize, oh, wow, I actually learned something about humanity. I learned something about myself.
Yes, sir.
Because they were just enjoying the story.
Yes, sir.
And I think I'm trying to do something like that with my books. And yeah, I hope anyone out there listening, watching, if they do get the chance to read any of them, can take that away as well.
So your bookmarks should be a pill. Come on, man. We just doing it around here on the Rico No Suave show. This is what we do, man. We put bookmarks as pills, but not real pills. If you want to put a pill there, okay, cool. But you need to put a pill there because, hey, you're going to get a dose of some great action for you to be able to learn more about humanity. I like that, man.
Yeah. Come on.
That's why you're here, man. That's why you're here. That's why you're here right now, man. Before we take a quick commercial break, brain farts. You know, we have writer's block. Did you get those when you were writing Moonflower? You
know, it's funny. I get asked that a lot.
Do you?
Never. And I never had writer's block, man.
Writer's block. I'm
like,
sorry.
I think what's funny is like a lot of people, you know, that are in the artistic community or in the arts,
Sure.
you know, don't have that athletic background that I have.
Yeah.
So I come from a space where it's like, hey, man, no matter how you're feeling,
Yep.
no matter what you got going on, you got a game tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Right? You got to perform.
Yes, sir.
And that calendar comes out a year in advance. You know you're going to Texas A&M, you know you're going to SMU or wherever it is you're playing.
Yep.
And I kind of take the same approach with writing.
Okay.
It's like, look, I don't care if I'm inspired, I'm having a bad day, good day, I'm going to write 8 pages today.
Yeah.
I'm going to make that happen.
Writing is cool.
Yeah. So I think I come
Writing
at it
is
from
cool.
like we're going to do it no matter what.
Yes, sir. Well, that's a go-getter, number one. There's nothing that's going to stop you, number two. If you freestyle on it, that's number three, you know, and you got it, right? And it's like you never hit the block because now what you're doing is just freestyling with your words and knowing what you want to do, but it just needs to come out good for you to feel, right? I like that, man. I like that. You know, we got some few people I want to say hello to. John T. for free. What's going on, man? You know, he said, wow, that's an insane way to meet someone. He's talking about Luke. I said, yes. And then my man Hollis Wilborn from ATL checking in. He said, JD, your help is definitely appreciated here in Georgia.
Man, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
That's
Quite
love,
a bit.
man.
Yeah, that is love.
That's
Appreciate
mad
that.
love.
Thank you for tuning in, man.
Yeah, for sure. I know Beatrice is checking in and everyone else that's actually checking in. You know, we're almost running out of time because, you know, when I'm here with my man JD, we need 4 hours, right? We need 4 hours. And, of course, we got to add more hours as far as to our show, specifically a special for him. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get right into this NASCAR moment. Let's do this NASCAR moment because NASCAR moment is something special to me. NASCAR moment, everybody, you already know the Rico No Suave show had the opportunity to be part of the media, you know, for a nice time and, you know, learning about how to do media, but also learning about the drivers, right? And this driver actually came to Chicago, and this is his second year coming to Chicago, is Bubba Wallace. So one thing that Bubba Wallace actually did, and actually this was at the end of the race, Alex Bowman was the one that actually won this race, and he clipped him. He actually clipped him on the side door. As you can see, he got fined. Bubba Wallace, I don't know what's going on, man, but I like you. Actually, I love you, bro. But this right here, after you finish the race, you can't be clipping nobody like that. That's not right, man. That's not right. And then you get fined $50,000. $50,000 is a lot of money coming from someone's bank account, man. You can't be doing that, Papa. You can't do it, man. So I'm gonna read a few things that's next that my man forgot to tell a few people out there. He says, anybody got any money? I'm like, I'm like, yeah, well, Wallace was a bit light in the wallet this week after NASCAR fined him $50,000 for, that contact he made against the race winner Alex Bowman on the cool-down lap of the Chicago street race. And more of that. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he said the penalty was probably the best thing that happened to me. Wallace said on that Saturday, I've been miserable for years. Chacho. Wallace 30 has been long open with dealing with depression triggered by personal and professional struggles, known from wearing his heart on his sleeve. Wallace acknowledged he hasn't been a beacon of joy at the track as he approaches almost 2 years since his last Cup Series victory. He started 29th in the number 23 Toyota. That's Michael Jordan. I've been walking around with a persona I am not proud of. And Wallace, of course, apologized for his behavior and what he did to my man Bowman and even NASCAR official who informed of him of the fine. That's another NASCAR moment that I would never want to go through. I have to tell you, NASCAR moment is something I wouldn't want to go through. But everybody, that is a NASCAR moment. And Bubba Wallace, you got to keep your money in your pocket, Papa. You got to keep your money in your pocket, man. Don't do stuff like that, man. We like you here, man. We like you here. But we love you in the NASCAR arena. But, yeah, it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Yeah, so that's a pretty big fine to pay. And just don't feel like I can get away with $5 out of my pocket. You enjoying yourself on the show, man?
Oh, man. I'm so appreciative of this opportunity, Rico. And a special shout out to everybody tuning in with their questions and comments.
Yes.
Man, unbelievable amount of support and love being seen and felt. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. And, yeah, man, this is super cool.
Let's go. Patty Escobar is checking in. She said, I just looked up his books, and I'm adding them to my future reading list. So
lovely.
Thank you, Patty Escobar. We appreciate that. Awesome, man. Awesome. Make sure you go ahead and get that book. Of course, we'll talk about how we get that book.
Yeah.
But we're down to the last few minutes as far as the show, and you knew it was going to come down to this, man. Let's talk about give us a brief synopsis of the recent Lakers Spectrum, the news story.
Yeah, so I had the chance to do some filming with the Los Angeles Lakers, specifically the Backstage Lakers show, and it's called Beyond the Sport, which is a kind of a segment that they do on Spectrum News where they cover athletes and something that they're doing off the court. And they got the chance to come with me to one of the schools I was speaking at and do some footage and ask me some questions and sit down for an interview, and also got some archival footage of me and Luke. And yeah, they put together this full story that, Rico, it's amazing, man. It really came together in such a beautiful, wonderful way.
Yeah.
And it's actually available on my website.
Okay.
To check it out. If people are interested, they can just go to my website, www.jdwritesbooks.com.
Yes, sir.
It's right there on the landing page, the full episode.
Okay.
And yeah, that's been kind of one of those life-changing interviews because, it was something that aired nationally and got picked up by all types of networks. And yeah, I was hearing from people all over the country just about, how much they enjoyed it, and a lot of donations coming in for the foundation. And yeah, it was pretty unbelievable, for sure.
Let's talk about the building of the foundation itself, of the donations that you're getting in. Mm-hmm. Where's the money going to? What are you guys actually looking forward to doing with that money?
So we give grants to families that have a children that's in the bone marrow transplant process.
Let's go.
So one of the reasons that we do this is because when a child has a bone marrow transplant, that's the only known cure for sickle cell disease.
Okay.
And that process is very long and something that takes them out for a significant amount of time, because when you have a bone marrow transplant, your immune system is very weak, and you can get sick easily, so they have to keep their kids in isolation.
Sure. Which
is why Luke had that full year of isolation I mentioned.
Sure.
And as parents, who are caregivers, they have to take time off of work to be with their kids and support them, right? And these are young kids we're talking about. So the financial strain, Rico, is significant. And there isn't many foundations out there, like less than you'd think, that give grants to families. So what we do is on a need basis, we work with social workers at hospitals, say, hey, what family is in here that has the least amount of financial resources, and we give them grants, no questions asked.
Let's go.
You could use that money to pay for your gas. You could use that money to pay for parking at the hospital, groceries, anything it is that family feels like they need to help alleviate their financial suffering.
Yeah.
We come in and support. So that's what makes this so important. This work we're doing is like, hey, there's kids in these hospitals that need this money. So that's what really fuels what we're doing, and that's what we do at the Luke Strong
Come
Foundation.
on, man. That's a blessing, man. And that's such a great thing that you're doing, because I'm glad that you call it the grant.
Yeah.
Right? Because some people just call it free money, right? And which, of course, it is. But I'm so glad, because it's almost as if you want the kids to graduate, to get out of sickle cell.
Of course.
And be able to have that mission of what they're going through and their family going through, to be a stress reliever for them, to be able to get cured for that. But that money, of course, is such a big piece of that, to be able to help them. Because not only let's say if a kid does have insurance and they can go through the whole process with going through the treatment, it's the stress behind it with the parents, with the family, and what they're investing their time and some money to be able to help their kids stay alive, or the person to stay alive.
I mean, and what parent wouldn't do all those things, right? And that's one of the things that Luke's mom, Stacy, and I talk about all the time is when Luke was in the hospital, she doesn't want to worry about groceries or gas or bills, and all she cares about is helping her son.
Yes.
And she has to dedicate so much time and energy towards that.
Sure.
So we try to be just another, beam of foundation for these folks that are going through this, horrendous circumstance, and try to be that light for them, even if it's something small, even if we can only give $500 or a couple thousand, whatever it is, we will find the people that need it most. And I feel so blessed to be able to talk about it like I do, and try to help those, because there is such a need out there. So
come on, man. Dang. Man, I'm happy. I'm so happy, man. And this is a passion that I have with helping people. The passion of helping people, humans in general. That's why when I first talked to you about, you just in general in Cali, it was just a great thing to know about what your movement is all about. And before I left, anything I can do to help you, that's why I'm glad that you're here on the show. And that's why I want my audience to know more about this movement, right? I'm going to have to get me a hat like that, too, because I'm all about that movement, right? I'm all about that. And here on the Rico No Suave show, we have the Awareness Month, right? So Mental Health Awareness Month, Women's Month, kids that have certain disease, Cancer Month, and things like that, Cancer Awareness Month, Sickle Cell, all of that. We take seriously here on this show, because I think the movement behind that, to be able to help like people like yourself that gives grants to families for kids to graduate, to come out of that hospital, to make it happen, man. Hey, super happy that you're here, man.
It's been so fun. I'm enjoying every second of it.
Yes, sir.
This is stuff. It's easy to want to share something that I think is so mutually appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Like,
yes, sir.
Like we could talk hours and hours, because it's cause-driven stuff.
We want to help.
I think, that's why I got into book writing, is because it takes so long to write any project, and I've learned that. You better spend that time writing about something you really care about. Oof. And I think that's a big part of what I'm doing.
What's up and coming for JD Slajchert? What we got, man? What's coming up? What we got coming up?
Man, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. No, I'll be traveling to some more cities coming up, doing some more shows. Going out to Italy in a few weeks for a little vacation, which will actually be really nice with my family.
Italiano.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, just continuing to spread the word any way that I can.
Yes,
maybe spending some more time up here in Chicago. Coming back in September. And some more speaking events and things. So I'll be running around. For anybody that's interested, can find me all over the place on social media. So So we definitely, we definitely have a lot of, great things that we have in Chicago that we're proud of, and we're proud that you're here, of course, and the movement that you have. And big shout out to Gabe and Pickles and you guys, showing that love as far as for the show.
but just in general, showing that love in general for your movement, right? That's the key, and also for the parents. And I keep going back to that because the parents are the ones that that need that help.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I mean, and of course the kids are there to be able to get that support from the parents and people behind the parents and going from there. But there's always other support that we always give, where we give out gifts here for the show. I just want to let you know we give out gifts. So I got something for you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I do got something for you. So
Okay.
we do have a shirt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because what you're doing, we got a Rico No Suave show
Okay.
shirt, right? Excuse the wrinkles. You know what I mean?
I love it.
So we got this shirt for
Dang,
you.
man.
And this shirt right here means a lot for me to be able to give this to you, right? Because we share a common characteristic, we share a common personality, and it's kindness for other people. Luke is looking down right now and saying thank you for keeping this movement going. But also, he's loving all of the connections that you're making with people like us to be able to say, hey, there's many more blessings coming your way because of what you're doing. Also, because you're an athlete and you're keeping yourself healthy, which is good because when you're traveling, you want to make sure that your immune system don't go down.
Sure.
Right? And
Sure.
you're actually keeping yourself going and keeping yourself active for Luke and the families that you're going to talk, and all of the kids that look up to you as well too. So this shirt means a lot for me to be able to give this to you, and we just want to say welcome to the family, man.
Man.
Welcome to the family.
Rico,
Yes, sir.
appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
This is
Yes,
sweet,
sir.
man. This
Yes,
is
sir.
sweet.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Yes,
I
sir.
love it. So well said, too, man.
Thank you.
So appreciative again of all you guys
Yes,
behind
sir.
the cameras, too.
Yes, sir. You got to show them the shirt, man.
Yeah,
you gotta hold up the
yeah.
shirt. You got to
Please,
let them know, just
please,
like you
please.
get retiring your jersey. You know what I mean? That's what we do.
I'm here, man. I'm
Yes,
here. I
sir.
made it to Chicago, but
Yes,
no, man. It's such a blessing and an honor to be carrying this story. To see somebody like yourself
Yes,
that
sir.
is sees the real heart in it,
Of course.
and then all the things you're doing to help me, it means a lot. And connecting me with your listeners and watchers, and yeah, there's more work to do for sure, man.
We got your back, man. We
I know
got
you
your
do.
back here.
Yeah,
That's for
I'm
real.
good in Chicago.
Yes, sir. You're good in Chicago, baby. You're good in Chicago. Now, what also good is, because I want everybody to know more about you, so let's put up their social media. We're going to put up JD's social media. So everybody, please make sure you go to Facebook, JD_Slajchert. That's where you'll find him. Don't go and spam him, right? Don't spam him, please. Just let him know. If you do spam him, just say, hey, I saw you on the Rico No Suave show. Please add me, right? And add to the movement. That's the objective. Here's the next one. You already know, everybody. He got that Instagram. Go ahead and follow JD_Slajchert. Yes, same thing, like always. Go and follow. We're going to X, formerly known as Twitter. Yes, of course, he's posted some great things out there as well, too. So make sure you go ahead and follow him, and maybe he'll follow you back. You know what I mean? So make sure you go ahead and say hello from the Rico No Suave show. Last but not least, we do have a website for him. Of course, he is a writer. He loved to write books because writing is fun. JD writes books. That's plural on both, everybody. So make sure you go there. Check him out. You already know it's on the front page. Go and donate to keeping Luke strong all day, every day, 2024, 2025, and beyond, everybody. My man.
Rico, appreciate you so much for having me, man. First of
thank
many,
you, man.
hopefully, man. I can't wait to come back.
Oh, this is just the beginning.
Yeah,
This is
and
just the
again,
beginning.
to all the people out there watching, listening, hope they were able to gain a little bit of hope, a little bit of inspiration.
Yes.
And keep pushing and realize you're a lot closer to your dreams than you realize, and we got more work to do. So let's do it. Let's go get to it.
Matt72 is checking in. Thank you, Matt72. It's always good to see you, my man. Thank you so much for checking in. But everybody, we got to get out of here. It is me, your boy Rico No Suave. Put your hands together. It was my man and still my guy, JD Slajchert. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, everybody, we want to thank you guys so much for being here, but we got to put up our social media as well, too, because you already know. We want you to know where we're at. www.riconosuaveshow.com. That's where we're at. So please make sure you go ahead and check us out. You know, we have the archives, right? We got the archives back there. We got a lot of other great things for you to actually share with your family and friends from the website. Here's the next one. You already know. Boom. Yes, Rico No Suave Show on Instagram. Yes, on Instagram, everybody. Make sure you go and follow us and like everything we're doing. Here's the next one. You already know. Facebook. Yeah. Rico No Suave Show. Go ahead and like and love what we're doing. All right, here's the next one. Yeah, subscribers. We talk about subscribers, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our channel, Rico No Suave Show. Please go ahead and do that as we speak. Here's the last one, Mixcloud. Yes, it turns into a podcast, everybody, so it turns into audio. So Mixcloud, Rico No Suave Show, please go ahead and follow us there. Create a good account. Make sure it's not a spam account, just a good account, and we'll go from there. Everybody, we want to thank you guys so much for being here on the Rico No Suave Show, and we thank you so much with my man JD Slajchert that came in from Cali, and I'll see you guys as we end off the show just like this.